And then I'm going to share my charts as soon as this live stream comes up. How's everybody's Sunday going?
Peaceful.
And
Quiet.
Still cooking.
you say what?
I said I'm still cooking.
You cooking?
Yeah.
I just cooked too, actually. I cooked all day today. What you cook?
What you made?
I'm making right now. I'm making you guys know what pilau is?
What?
Pilau. The
Hello?
Caribbean dish. Yeah, pilau.
Oh, I want to know.
I
Listen,
think one of these days.
one thing just gonna do, just gonna eat.
Yeah. All right.
All right. My sister had her baby on Friday, so I cooked for her and brought her some food to the hospital.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you. I'm a brand new auntie to a
What
beautiful
did she have?
boy. She had a boy. I think I started this like trend in my family for boys because like before Legend, my mom has all sisters, and then all her siblings have sisters, and I have like 7 cousins that's all girls, and all my cousins that have babies all had girls until me. And then now my sister has a girl. So I mean a boy. So yeah. But okay, so let's get into these charts. Okay, so first things first, who made some money this week? If you made some money this week, drop a yes in the chat. All right, I need to know because let's talk about it. Okay, y'all know I don't even trade GJ and haven't traded it, and I just randomly marked it up on the chart last Sunday, and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna go over that. And then we're also gonna go over our GU. GJ was definitely pretty. So actually, let's pull up GJ first. And then remember last week, I was supposed to answer them Instagram questions and I never did. So I'm gonna answer questions at the end of this call. And is there any more announcements? Oh, did everybody get the video of the, or did everybody hop on the video of Michael breaking down the new system? Yeah, was there anybody
Yes.
who didn't hop on
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Okay,
No,
because
I missed
have
that.
a,
I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, I missed that. I
Okay.
missed that.
I have a recording. I want everybody to start getting familiar with it because I'm gonna look to switch over our actual calls to that system in April. I'm gonna still use Zoom until April just so that like for people who haven't been on a calls in a while, they could just get, accustomed before they just like, oh my God, we're not on Zoom anymore. So I'm gonna continue using Zoom until April. And then all of my old private students, they still hop on Zooms from every now and then. So I need to figure out a way to give them access to that. Because of course they don't have like a course login like y'all do. Okay. So that'll be all figured out, but we will be starting to do calls on that platform in April. Okay.
Did you guys find out if it allows you to do annotations?
Girl, I can do annotation now. I thought we did annotation last week. No, we did. Yeah, we figured it out for last week, girl.
She means on the platform, the other platform.
Oh, I don't even know. That's a good question. I think Michael said we can, because I think I asked him that, but if not, then we gonna use both of these things. We gonna figure it out. All right. Okay, so let me share my screen and let's get to the meat and potatoes of tonight. I hope everybody, again, had a wonderful Sunday. Should we go over GJ or GU first?
GJ.
Okay. Let's go over GJ.
GJ.
All right, so I'm gonna put it in replay mode and I'm gonna talk about where we were last week, and then I'm going to fast forward it to where we are now, okay? So last week, I wanna hide, let's hide. we'll just hide the bars and stuff. And then and do I want to hide this? No, I'll keep that for here. All right, so last week we were in this triangle here. Nothing was here except this. Okay, so just ignore these. We'll hide these two. Hold on. Hide. Okay. So this is where we were last week. All right. And then we talked about, that wasn't dragged over at that point. We talked about this needed to break out of the triangle for us to confirm what, like, our structure. We remember we talked about this zone right here. And I told you guys when we had looked left on here, I told you guys that I was anticipating, I drew this red line here and I said, before price drops under here, we could possibly have like a head and shoulders formation where this came here, where this structure comes here before coming back down, so forth and so on, right? Y'all remember that?
Yep.
Okay. Everybody remember that?
They do.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Yes.
I was kind of hectic, like, and I do not recommend this because remember I had just did it on a whim for that guy. I did not have no foundation levels at the point in time. I just literally not winged it because I was looking at structure to determine this. But remember, I was telling y'all that like I would have preferred to have done a top down, but based off of just structure, right? And taking it step by step. I talked about making sure that it's broke out of the triangle and that this would either break to the upside, break here first, then drop, or look to see what structure is going to do here. Because at that point, like, I mean, I don't trade GJ every day anymore. So I'm not in like the day-to-day flow of it like I am in GU or whatever. But that's just what I saw last week. So ultimately, that ended up happening. After we got off the call, this gave us, hold on, I'm trying to move y'all's faces. Let's go a little bit slow first. So after we got off the call, we broke out and then we broke here. And that's when I put the thing in the chat. I said, because I felt like because this broke and retested, people were going to hop in and sell. So I said, we are on this zone. So make sure y'all do not take nothing without your confirmations first. So that's why I sent that update, because the way this was forming and the way this set on this zone, if you look left, you see how even though we're in this zone, we rejected. Y'all see that?
Yes.
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 Yep.
So as more price formed, we started to get divergence. Divergence was our confirmation that, okay, this is about to push up. And then on our minor structure, I deleted the trend line, but we had a baby trend line here. So we had those three confirmations to push up for this buy for the original start of this. Okay? Everybody with me?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So we had the break and retest of structure. I mean, of this baby trend line. Remember, this is minor structure. We had a break and retest of, I'm sorry, not a break and retest. We had divergence, we had our zone, and then we had the break and retest of minor structure. So those were our three confirmations that this was getting ready to push up. And then we had some wick exhaustion on the bottom. It was more so pushing up than down. Does everybody see that? Wick, 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 wick. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if we were to go on a 4-hour, we got this momentum here. Everybody with me? So I had sent an update. Now this entry would, as I mentioned, there will be some entries where my advanced people will see it and it's just like, oh, okay, I'm about to take this. And then there will be some entries where I want you guys to wait on for my people who are not so seasoned yet. Okay. Just to make sure you have your confirmation, I'm gonna go ahead and hmm, let's do all of these. I'm gonna wait on these, but okay. So this was the first one. And at that point, I think I had only had it going here because when I look left, same thing as I always teach you guys, when you look left, what is your next stopping point? At this point, I did not have a fib. So let's first look at this. So does everybody understand at this point where I have this break and retest here, there was no fib structure because we had no push up at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was literally just this. All right. Then as price played out, so this was our first move. I think that was a good.
You're saying this one was an advanced entry?
Yes. That's understood?
Yeah.
Okay. 3 confirmations, but still advanced because like you will want more of a, you know how in y'all's assignment where you have the main breaking trend line breaking retest and then you have the minor? Even though both of these are minor, because technically this is on a smaller structure, it's the same concept.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make sense? So we ended up coming to this zone. Perfect, right? And then we had this push down. Touching our zone again and giving us this structure here. Now, this right here, this gave us multiple entries to take advantage of, but this could have scared people with this wick here. But this wick was only retesting this zone. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So this structure starts to play out, boom, boom, boom. So this was a entry area of a retest. And then you have 3 more entries that you could have taken advantage of after our initial one. At this point, we all know once you start to have a trend drawn, a trend structure, oops, hold on. This was on this here. This was here. I should have just unhid everything. But anyway, so this structure, majority of price here. So these are your multiple points where you could have entered for this buy. Now, this right here, mind you, we're still in this consolidated structure on a higher time frame. I don't want to say consolidated, but this zone area here, like we were in between these zones. You see how here we have consolidation when we got up here? Like just
Yeah.
right here in this frame. So right here, we had not had any higher highs from this downtrend. But on our minor structure from this downtrend here, from minor structure, okay, we had our first impulse up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so that is where I drew my first fib structure. Once I had that area confirmed. Remember that we can't draw a fib until we have a point B. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me go back to my pancake. Did I delete my bed?
Yeah, you deleted it.
Oh shit. Okay. All right, so we'll just put that back on here. So we had this here. Now, mind you, remember when I told you that in trading, like you will get to the point where all of your stuff starts to add up. Like your zones start to align with your foundation levels and your TP levels start to align with your zones. It's just, I don't even understand why that happens. Like, it's just constant repetitive data. But when your stuff is drawn correctly, you will see synchronicities in certain things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, we have this from here, from this minor zone here. So we had point A to point B, price pulled back, boom, boom, boom. I had only had this going here again because this zone, and I wasn't sure if it was going to push back down before pushing further. But remember, like we talked about on the call, this red line was where I was looking for price to go ultimately, because on that higher time frame, that was our basically like our shoulder area. Okay, so remember, it's not if it's going to happen, is when it's going to happen. And we don't know when it's going to happen. Now, again, if you're a swing trader, everybody might not be an intraday trader like me. And I do want to just say, even for people on YouTube, if that's you, that's perfectly fine. Like, that's the beautiful thing about how I teach structure. So you can apply it to whether you're a scalper, where you like the smaller trades, intraday trader or swing trader. Structure. So if you are a swing trader and you like are super busy in your life and you don't have time to like look at the charts and stuff like that, you could have held this position because ultimately you knew like long term where you had it going. But here was my net stopping point. And again, it was like a good, I think it was like 80 something pips that day. Yeah, so like right at 78, which is still a great trade. Make sense?
Give it up stuff, please.
Huh? Were you saying something? Oh, maybe she wasn't talking to me. Okay, so does that make sense to everybody?
Yep.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
So,
Yeah.
Yes.
so now, after pushing off the zone, we had a few other things happen, and let's talk about it. And even when I talked about how your things align, so I just want to show y'all this because after we did get off the call, I went through and put on my foundation levels on here on all of my structures. So let's just add these on. Okay, so I want to go up so y'all can see this. So y'all see how literally I have a monthly level right where that red line was, like literally identical to where that red line was. And I didn't even know until I went to the higher time frame. Well, I went to the monthly and drew this out or added to them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So at this point, hold on. Let's speed this up. So we had one more trend line break and retest on that structure there. And then we had the trend line coming from the top. Did I delete that too? Dang. Okay. I had a trend line from up here. This was our first initial trend line that we had. Now, if you had this and you extended it on your chart, then these were basically retests of this higher trend line from the top of the trend. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So retest, boom, boom. Up until the point where it pushed to negative 61.8, which is basically where we are now. Literally basically where price is now. All right. Now, we had some divergence here. So let's talk about where we are, where we're going. So we had some divergence here, but now that this foundation level is here, what does that mean?
Consolidation.
To get consolidate.
Yeah, so it's like, oops, wrong arrow. Hold on. this arrow. So we had some we have this foundation level. We have this divergence, which is beautiful divergence, right? And we have this negative 61.8. But the fact that we're at this foundation level, that's the only thing that has me like, you do not want to jump in this cell so soon. Because even with this, like honestly, even where it just went to, this kind of went to, it tested this resistance as support. You see that? Now this is minor, right? Like, it even did a break and retest before. So if you were paying attention, you could have easily taken this to this. What is that, like 40 something pips? Now I probably wouldn't have gotten in this trade. Yeah, 36 pips. I wouldn't have gotten in this trade, it's just not worth it. Like, because this is on this level. But if you're a scalper, it's probably something you could have taken advantage of. But if we were to align like all of our things, don't take a sell on this until you have more structure, right? Because also we have this trend line coming from the top and you want to make sure this isn't a test. Now, overall, I'm still looking for this. This is kind of bullish right here too, actually. Overall, I can see literally what happened over here. This to push back down here. This could potentially recess this also. But where we are is just a very critical area. You see, even in this last hour, we just got this push up literally to our foundation level, and that's where we are now. Does that make sense? And it tested this resistance as support perfectly. And honestly, the way this just impulsed, like, this is a very strong impulse. This divergence could possibly be a correction to continue higher, but based off of this, we need to see if we have based off of this, we're not going to break this high, but this was our last main structure that we looked at. Now we're in this minor structure over here. Does that make sense? Does everybody understand the structure
Yes,
looking at?
Yes.
absolutely.
So this right here is a minor. This is minor. So we need to see how this minor forms, like what happens at this main. This is going to be our telltale for the next few days of where we're looking to go. Does that make sense?
It does. So Jess, you're looking forward to either break that blue line you just drew and retest that, right? Or to drop back down below the purple zone.
Yes,
So
yes, but because it's so aggressive, I'm literally sitting on my hands right now because I also want to make sure is that it doesn't come back up here. Like, if we didn't just have that very big impulse, if I had not drawn even this foundation level here and we were just looking at this as like a resistance and just a normal shoulder, like we talked about last week, like I had this coming back up here last week because I saw this. But at that time, remember, I didn't have the foundation levels on there. Now that we have the foundation levels, like we know what those mean, right? So it's just, I want to make sure we don't have like even a repeat of this. You see this structure?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's just not clean right now to give a guarantee just because this is very bullish and this is like, it's too many anomalies, right? So this is what I mean by anomaly. And this could be a learning lesson for people in trades. We do not gamble, okay? We do not gamble. We are traders. So we take things step by step, and we have to have confirmation and confluences to give us our trades. When we don't have everything working together synonymously, then it's a problem. And when it's a problem, I mean, not that it's a problem because nobody controls the market. None of us control the market. So we can't say that this has to be this way because, again, we react to it. When I move, you move just like that. That's how we approach the market. But when we do not have things that just line up where it's like seamless, like y'all know, and we talk about this all the time, where you have those trades where it's just like boom, boom, boom. Okay, this gonna do this doing this because everything is aligned. This is not aligned. And let me tell you why. This is not aligned because we have a negative 61.8 in divergence saying sell, but we have bullish momentum in a foundation level above. Do you see how we have two different things giving us, so we can't, we're not about to guess this.
Right,
Does that make sense?
right.
Right.
Like we can even hypothesize, but it's just not like this would never be a trade that I would get into in real life. Like this trade I got into, because you have clear, concise reasons as to why you're entering the market. This right here, I have two things telling me sell and I have two things telling me buy. So I'm not going to make no move because you're not about to sit in your account and be like, oh, I hope it does this. Because we don't hope. We execute when we have confirmation.
Hey, Jess,
Hey,
would you say that those two things that are opposite of each other, they offset? So that's why it's best to just sit back and wait, right?
yes. Because they're both like they're all confirmations, but they're not lining up. Like we have two confirmations to sell. Our confirmations are we have divergence and we have negative 61.8. But we also have two confirmations that's saying, okay, this is a buy because we're testing literally resistance at support. We're bullish as hell right now. And we're at a foundation level, which means the foundation level is above, which means price is going to test it again. So like literally where we are here, this right here, it's like we can't just ignore that. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yep, 100%.
So I'll probably send y'all updates this week, like I did last week, on this. Also, pound interest rates are coming out this week. So be mindful of that too, and how that shifts the market, okay? Okay, so let's talk about GU. Again, pound interest rates are coming out, so this that'll affect this as well. So on GU, and it was somebody, I can't remember who it was last week, and they asked me about the correlation, and that's when we looked at the DXY, and we had the DXY going up once we actually looked at that, and I was like, that kind of gives us insight into GU. Last week on GU, we had two probabilities because where we were in GU, we had this like exhaustion pushing down, but we had so much momentum, right? We had so much momentum that we wanted this to make sure this was going to be the stopping point. So remember I had drawn this alert here. Well, technically I had two alerts. Remember we had this minor trend line here, but then we also drew this little black line here. And I was talking about on minor structure. Remember I had told y'all, don't hold me to that little baby fib because it wasn't a fib for an actual buy or anything. I just wanted to see potential pullback levels. So we drew it here, but we never reached, like we barely reached this negative 27 and definitely didn't reach negative 61.8. So that alert did not get triggered, but this one right here, coming from here, did. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
So once this
Yep.
broke, and I put this, we did have these bars on here, but that was the only thing we had. And at that point, we talked about this bars. I'm gonna delete this for now. So we talked about this bars and I said, remember I was saying I didn't want to draw a zone right here because I don't have multiple points to like validate it as a zone, but this has to come back here. So like look at this to see like what basically what your next step would be and if this would like retest off of this, so forth and so on. So what ended up happening, we had a minor break and retest, but we did not have a retest of this trend line. We had a minor retest of structure, and that's when I put in the chat for you guys. Remember I said, this would have been your entry. Like for newbies and everything, this would have been your clear-cut entry for a sell. And your sell would have been going down to the zone. That would have been like, that is the safe trade. That's the like everybody make money trade because that's clean cut, concise, and clear. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are the trades that I want y'all to look out for, because these are again the clean cut, concise ones. But if you understand minor structure, you could have gotten in on this test, break, and retest. We have support, break, retest as resistance. Again, this is a more advanced entry here, but at this point, you would have only carried it to here, right? Because that was that trend line. And remember, I told you guys, once price got to this trend line, look to see if we're going to push up to this red line or go further. When we got here, we clearly broke. That retest was the confirmation that we were going to go further. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So
For sure.
I need y'all to take this step by step, y'all, like for real, because that's how you just never F up. Excuse my language, because I'm going to just say it because it's really that serious. That's how you don't fuck up. Okay? Can y'all see me? Have y'all seen me tonight? Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Let's see.
Yeah.
We saw you earlier.
Yeah, it just went to the picture.
I don't know what's wrong with my my camera.
Put you back.
Huh?
It keeps cutting on and off.
Oh, that's
It's
crazy.
turned off right now.
I have a question.
Yes.
So this will be considered the 30-minute trend line break and retest before the 1 hour trend line break and retest, right?
Well, no, we were a little bit more minor than that. This is like a 15-minute over here. Because this is like real minor structure right here. Like if we go to an actual 1 hour, this will more so be like your main trend. This, we're literally like inside of like our, you see this? You see how steep this is?
Yeah.
Like we were just coming off of a trend. Remember, we had so much bullish momentum. We had to, because remember, the dollar literally fell like 2 weeks ago. So remember, gold shot up crazy, GU shot up like super steep. So like, remember, we had just drawn these like, because remember, we had broken that consolidation, which was our main like structure. Does that make sense? So this is like, this wouldn't be, I would classify this as more of a 15-minute than a 1 hour. I mean, than a 30-minute.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
For where you have that yellow circle, I had a trend line coming from the top there, above it, like where it starts. And I was scared to take that sell where that large wick is to the right of the circle. Is that considered valid entry? Because mine lined up with it.
Yeah, you could have taken that. It's nothing wrong with that. No.
Okay.
Yeah, you could have taken that. That was valid.
Okay.
And then you would have just taken it to the zone where all this resistance is.
Okay.
So we have all of this resistance that was here tested at support. You just wouldn't want, like, even when I took this trade, I literally took it to here. I actually didn't even trade that much this week. I only took them 3 trades. That's why when I wrote in y'all's group, I was like, if you didn't hit your goal for the week, look to see for other opportunities, because gold definitely had one. And GJ definitely also. GJ actually had multiple. So who got me looking at GJ now, actually? Because I wasn't even supposed to be up in it this week, but it was good that I did look at it because gold wasn't ready at the beginning of the week. But okay, so where we are now on here. Now this isn't identical to GJ, but we do have a zone here and we have some divergence. Now here's the thing about this. I could see this pushing. Hold on, where's my dang on thing? Here we go. So this is our divergence. Does anybody want to tell me where we are?
Retest.
On a monthly foundational? I mean, a weekly?
But what else? Where are we like in the
Oh,
gist?
the minor TP.
No, keep on.
Oh,
Try
it
It
one
looks like
back.
the 4 hour played out. It looks like we're on a impulse or rejection on the 4 hour.
So we're back. We're kind of back in the consolidating area.
Consolidation.
So remember we pushed out the week before last. All right, we pushed out
yeah, that's right.
and now we're back in these blue zones. So this is what we need to watch out for right here. I want to, even though this is forming divergence, what's the main rule when it comes to divergence?
Break and retest.
No.
It can keep going.
Can keep diverging.
You
Higher
want to
time
make,
frame.
yes,
More
we need,
confluences.
no, we want to make sure it's finished diverging. That's the thing. Before you just hop in a buy in this, because remember, some people, when they see divergence, they just immediately hop in the opposite. Because technically, that's what it's setting up as. Like, anytime you have divergence, it's literally an indication that price is getting ready to reverse. But you cannot hop in reversals too soon because price can keep diverging all the way down. So I want to see, because we are back in this blue area, right? So here, if we break this line, where we have this support and resistance over here, I want to see if this keeps diverging down to this little purple area. But I want to see this push up. I want to see how, if it retests or how it retests. And I also want to make sure it doesn't come back to this foundation level before dropping. Because you see this week, we retested our foundation level a couple times.
So would you draw a fib on this?
No, my fib structure is really over. My fib was up here, actually. I would just keep dragging it down. You see how here, you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, if you drag this down, then technically this -27 aligns with this purple zone. I had it here just because I had not pushed really past my 23.6. But again, because it's just like GJ, if all my rules don't line up, I wait.
How do you know when it's finished diverging?
How do y'all know when it's finished diverging?
Trend line breaking retest.
A to B.
Retest.
Break exhaustion.
Jessica, when it's a break of structure.
You have it. So
Exhaustion.
typically when you have divergence, you'll literally have a break and retest out of that divergence to let you know it's finished. Y'all see like these?
Bad girl.
Let me go to 15 minutes so we can go to minor structure and look. Because remember also, you have to like look at what time frame you're drawing your divergence. So you see how here,
Smaller the time frame, the quicker the divergence.
yeah. So typically you will have a break and retest out of it, but most often the breaks and retests are more so on reversals than pullbacks. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does it?
Yeah.
So you see how here we got a pullback, but right here we got a reversal to push up. Like this was a pullback to continue lower.
That's
If
kind of
I
hard
were
to
to
follow.
go,
Yeah, makes sense. Mhm.
hard to follow in what way?
What you just said, like being able to that I guess is another one of those rules um that I need to grasp here because you showed the first point of divergence, then it pulled back, and then it went into the divergence again.
Okay. So that one that I was just looking at, I don't even remember where it was.
It's okay.
Was
There it is, right there. Yeah.
okay. Hold on. Let me go to smaller structure so you can see it. So all I was saying is that remember, if you have a pullback, is so price can continue lower, right?
Right.
Or
That's right.
so a pullback is so price can continue in whatever direction it's going. Let me not say lower, because if it's on an uptrend, it'll go higher. So you have impulse, correction is the pullback, and then continuation. So this corrected, and then this continued. This continuation is the completion where this negative 27 was hit. So this hit TP. So this was the pullback. This was the TP. Does that make sense? Now I'm changing direction.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I have
No
a
problem.
question.
No
Just-
problem. But it's not always like that. So
Yeah, I get it.
I don't want every time you see divergent, like typically you'll see like your like, okay, this is a reversal, right? So we diverged. Let me draw. Why don't I have the bottom line? All right, so we diverged, right? So we got this going up, this going down, boom. And then we break and retest. Now this is a higher time frame divergence, so it looks a little bit different. This is a smaller time frame one, so I guess we could use this one too. Why don't I have my lines on my RSI though? That's a little unlike me, but maybe I was showing somebody or something. But anyways, so you see how here, like you see how what I'm saying is that it doesn't always, because this is a pullback right here, right? And not a reversal, but we still got to retest. The best way I could say this is no retest, no entry, because that'll just make it to where when I make sure y'all got a retest, then y'all enter and y'all have confirmation. If you have multiple confluences, you can also enter, just like what we talked about on GJ. Just make sure you have your confluences. Make sure you have multiple things lined up before you hop in a trade. That's the best way to put it. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
No problem at all.
So for the pullback, how did you know how far it was gonna pull back to?
You just look at the zones. Whatever is the net stopping point, that's how you know. Because it can always go beyond that point, but that's what it's at least gonna go to. So you would rather be safe than sorry. You don't want to have it go way beyond and then price. You don't want to have your TP way beyond and then when price gets to the zone, it reverses. So your best way to look at where price is going is to literally look at what's that net stopping point, whether it's a zone, whether it's a trend line, whether it is a fib level, like whatever that net stopping point is, that's what you want to look at to determine your next area.
So with the pullback, did you have multiple confluences? I know you had the divergence. I'm trying to see if there was, because I didn't see it's like break structure to retest before you
I
did
don't know which one. Where are you talking about?
the one you just showed her, the one she was kind of confused of. A pullback without the retest. The one you pull back before continuing lower.
It
Can't
wasn't at
see
the
your screen
TP.
anymore.
It was at the divergence was at the pullback and not the TP.
It looks like you stopped
not
sharing your
sharing
screen,
screen?
Jess.
Okay, hold on. Can you see my screen now?
No.
No.
Oh, I don't know why it's not sharing. Can you see it now?
No.
It says, yeah, it says
No.
screen
Is it-
sharing pause. This happened to me on my last call too. Hold on. Why does it say pause? Hold on. Oh, you see it now?
Yeah, we see.
Yes, yeah, it came through.
Yes.
Okay. So, where were we? We're on the 15-minute.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah,
pullback.
you were on the 15-minute.
Was it here?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, right here. Yep,
Yeah, that's
right.
the one.
All right.
That's-
So you have divergence, you have a stopping point. Why is in my zone? Oh, this zone's supposed to be. So that is how I knew where.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Thank you. Okay.
No problem. Sorry. I don't know. I must have been showing somebody something and moved it. But yeah, this zone was going all throughout here. So that
So
was that next point.
before you move from there, Jess, you'd be moving so fast.
I'm
So
sorry.
I just want to make an observation and kind of tell me if I'm off base, because right at the end of that divergence, you have your bars pattern right there. And I see you don't have a fib. Is this one of those advanced moves, like you know it's going to that spot, you can go ahead and make your entry there
So
without
it
having to put a
was
fib on it?
well, it was a fib, but the fib was extended. So this was the
Oh,
first
gotcha.
area. This was the first area, but it hit, and it was just one of those ones that, like, when I be on a call with y'all, I try not to have a whole bunch of minor fibs because it confuses y'all. When they're all stacked on top of each other. So at this point where I have this extended, I didn't need that one anymore. Does that make sense?
It does. Absolutely. Thank you.
No problem. So like this was the first one. The first one was here. Point A to point B. And then this went here. But remember, because it didn't pull back beyond 23.6, it's an extension. That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Where did that zone originate?
Over here. Let me actually. So it's there. Over here. And it's been respected all throughout. Everybody see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Yeah. Jess, quick question. What was that point you made a little bit earlier? You said a pullback is what? A break and retest is what I mean?
Listen, y'all know I just be talking and I don't know what you talking about. So remind me what I said so that I can remember, so that I could tell you. Cause girl, when I just be in my zone, I just be in my zone.
It was like
you were talking about when divergence, someone had asked, when do you know that divergence has completed? You said when there's a break and retest.
Yeah, so that's the easiest way to confirm is when you have a break and retest, or if you have confirmation of something else. So like right here, you have divergence and you have a trend line. So multiple confluences lined up. Here you have divergence, well, we should have pulled back beyond that, but price, okay, we know our negative 61.8 is our reversal, but sometimes price goes beyond negative 61.8 to touch whatever is the closest. So here we have divergence aligned with these areas that we have as our confluences. Right here we have divergence. We're a pullback, but we're also a trend line bounce. So it's like you just have to have something else lined up. So like right here, when I said, don't just hop in this right here, look to see if this is going to continue to this zone, if it does not stop right here. And then that will be your other alignment. You see what I'm saying?
yes.
For sure.
Like here we had divergence and we had a zone, we had a trend line coming from the top. It's just having multiple confluences. I don't want to just say trend line breaking retest only because again, they can happen when you don't just have a trend line breaking retest, but I want to just keep emphasizing trend line breaks and retests to you guys so that you guys can have the safest trades possible. Because I mean, really, no retest, no entry. That's just like, that's the way to make sure you ensure the protection of your funds. Like no different than this trade over here. Like this was a clean, clear as day, like break, retest, like everybody should hop in this. This low's broken. Even if you didn't have this up here, you have this structure here and the low of this surpass to retest. And we have a zone right here. Like this was clear as day pushing here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right, so this week, I don't know why my camera's not showing anymore, but I want to do, I want everybody to like challenge themselves to up their goals for whatever it is that you've been constantly doing. So if you've been constantly trading at 0.5, I want you to up it to a 0.6 this week or a 0.55. Just increase to whatever you have been doing. If you are not finished the course yet and you are just in your top-down analysis and stuff like that, then once you finish your top-downs and those play out, I want you to remark up before the week is out and let them, because your top-downs should hit before Wednesday at the latest. Remark up and then add to that. Does that make sense? I just need everybody to add another layer to their goal this week because I'm gonna ask you about it next Sunday. Okay. The trade-in plan, somebody just asked about the trade-in plan document. So I have it, but I didn't want to upload it to the Facebook because I want y'all to have it on y'all's new platform. Michael said he uploaded half of the documents already. So y'all should have them in there. I don't know if that one was in there. I think he just did the workbooks so far, but I gave him a whole list of stuff to download. So he has all the files, but just keep, like, y'all have it on YouTube so you can go to that if you just want to take notes from it. You will have it, but it just doesn't make sense to download it to the Facebook when I don't want to no longer use the Facebook. Also, all of y'all's previous calls are going to be downloaded to the course too. Okay.
So Jess,
Mm-hmm.
after April, everything that we do is going to be in the course and no longer using Facebook.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there a way you can archive the Facebook group? Because there's some really good old posts with really good information that Liz had put and other graduated students that may be helpful for other people.
Yeah, actually, maybe I should just, I wonder, is there a way that I could just, oh, that's gonna take too long. I was gonna say if I could just add it post by post, but then it's gonna be all out of order and sync. It might not be smart. But yeah, I mean, I can, that's no problem. I could do that.
Also, Jess, where do we get the Telegram information?
Telegram?
Yeah, I saw somebody post something in the chat about the Telegram.
The only
It's a
Telegram,
link on your Instagram, I think.
the only Telegram is the chart talk.
Yeah, it's on your Instagram. If you go to Instagram, you can go to the Telegram link.
All our stuff is on the Instagram.
Yeah, the only Telegram group I have is the chart talk group. Is that the one you refer?
Okay. Yeah, just whatever they were talking about in the group. I wanted to lock in on everything I could.
Yes, ma'am.
So is there going to be a link for the new platform, or is it going to be on your website?
Say it one more time.
Is there going to be a link to the call on the new platform, or
Which
is it on
call?
the since we're not using Zoom no more?
No, we're gonna stream directly from the course. So we don't need a link.
From the course on the website.
Yeah.
Just log in.
The when you log in, it's gonna be like a button. Like you know how like people on YouTube right now in YouTube, they're watching me live in YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, so you didn't add the button yet?
Wait, what you talking about, Willis? Hold on, let me go to this.
On your website. I'm on your website now, and I'm like,
Hold on, let me go to it. Let me go to it.
Hey, Jess,
I'm logged in now.
Jess, while you going to that, I wanted to ask, if you didn't get the email, I wasn't able to get the email. It was something going on with my email that I had to fix. And when we had the call last week, I wasn't able to get on. So I don't know the name.
I'm listening.
I don't know the name of the new platform. I don't know if I mean, can you resend the email to me or the new link to me?
Yes, ma'am. But wait, I
I
need
think
to.
Mike just said forgot password. Yeah, go to forgot my password.
I don't even know what the platform is.
Okay.
Oh, it's wait. So you don't have. Hold on. Hold on one second. Let me log into this so I can see it as y'all see it. Because I have an admin view and then I have a different view. Let me just.
I see it. Catalog, community, and calendar.
It's just Invest FX like it always is? Or like the website didn't change. Like the website domain didn't change. He just updated it to this. So it's the same website domain that you guys had before.
All I see is your picture.
So
It might
it's
be a different one.
No.
No. I'm saying from your screen that you're showing us, it's just your picture.
If I go to, can you see this?
Yes, thank you.
So if you go to Just Invest and you just press forgot password, then you should have your stuff.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
Hey, Jessica, I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
When you were reviewing the charts, you said that if it doesn't follow your rules, you won't take the trade. What exactly are your rules? Is it just the confirmations?
Yeah, Marquise put him in there a couple times.
Yeah, Marquise, give him.
If he doesn't have I have no, I can put him on.
Okay.
I'll put him in the chat. You were talking about the time frame correlation. What is major structure? What is minor structure? Oh, want me to go slow? Are you writing them down?
Somebody just put them in the chat just now.
Oh, they put them in? Okay, cool. Oh, they sure did.
Okay, friend.
Jessica, I was gonna say I got all of those. I just wanted to confirm that's like the rundown you go through too.
Oh yeah, it is for sure.
Okay.
I see somebody asked about gold. I was gonna say something too. Why is it melting down?
Hey, Jess, y'all still looking for me?
No, she figured it out.
Okay. All right.
The Monday night call, the 2 Monday night calls that were recent. Are they
I mean,
gonna be
I
in
can't really say why is it melting down because it's still no structure broken. Like it's still upholding in the zone area.
Right, so it's still following the downtrend that it made, or it's making.
It's still like we haven't really had no break yet. You see what I'm saying? Like there's no break. Once structure breaks, then you can y'all can't be jumpy like that though. You can see price moving, be like, oh my God, why is it moving so fast? Oh my God, I'm missing out on the money. Like, no, like it's okay, guys.
Okay. Good evening.
This could easily do this and then form a wick up. So I did have gold literally selling like long term, but yeah, like this if this like just based off of it literally pushing up so high, and then if we did have a divergence on a higher time frame, I could probably see it pushing to like even this area, to be honest, first thing. But yeah, like I mean, it's even forming a wick right now. So
When
it's
you draw your zones, do you think
happen.
it's better to go to a higher time frame to draw 'em? Is that
Yeah, I always draw my zones on a higher time frame unless I'm on a smaller zone.
like that one right there? Like, because I drew it, but I went to like the 2 hour to actually draw it. So I can't
I
really
never
see.
use 2 hour. I just use 1 hour, 4 hour, 15, 30, daily, weekly, monthly, and that's it.
And you see it so good, I can't see that good until I go up.
Oh, yeah. The more comfortable you want it, like I could be on a smaller time frame and draw it, but still know what I'm looking at on a higher. But just wait on all y'all structure to really play out, because even this can form divergence, push up a little bit more, then drop. Like there's so many possibilities right now with no confirmation. So wait on your confirmation. I'll probably draw that there. Wait on your confirmation. I gotta go get my baby now though, because Michael been a trooper holding it down for me for the last like 5 hours. Okay.
God bless you, both of you.
Take it easy.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank
you.
We
Thanks,
will
Jess. Appreciate it.
next week. I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
leave
Jess.
because we were on the charts more than expected. Well, not more than expected. I wanted to do charts for 30 minutes and then questions for 30 minutes. Next week, I'll make sure I take questions first so that then when I go into charts, I don't have to like worry about not answering any questions. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Bye.